Hey guys, welcome to Horror and Me. I'm your host, Darren Mitchell. And on today's video, I thought we would do something a little bit different. I know that I've been away from this channel for some time now, so I'm finally getting back on track. I'm going to start doing videos on the regular more on this channel, going back to my roots with collectibles and toy hunting and that sort of thing. So I thought a video for today that might be good to kind of jumpstart everything again is, I was kind of looking around here, cleaning up over the last couple weeks, just kind of straightening things up, and I came across some figures that some of them I forgot I even had. Some of them are kind of locked away so I don't touch them because of value, but I thought today I would do a video of my top 10 rare horror figures that are pretty much impossible to find. Every once in a while you might see one or two of these pop up on eBay, but when you do, the value is pretty crazy. So I'm gonna kind of do this lot pretty much of a value of $200 plus. So I thought that would be an interesting video for today, so let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it and start with the first piece that I had picked out. This piece is kind of interesting because it's not your typical go-to type of figure, at least for me. When I first picked it up, I didn't even realize what I had. I've seen different figures in this series before, and the values have been between like $40 and $70 a piece. But unbeknownst to me, when I got home and realized the variant that I had and the value of it, I was pretty surprised. So the first one that I'm going to show you here to kick this off is this green variant Mezco Dark Carnival figure. This is the Browning Brothers, and the green variant is super rare. Whenever you see this figure, you normally see it's like a tan colored one, but it's very rare to see the green one. I think I paid around $30 for this one maybe, and when I got home the value was over $150. So it just goes to show that just because you see something often, just little variations in it could be all the difference as far as a rare collectible. So I'm just gonna kind of get in close so you guys can kind of see that. It's kind of a weird figure, obviously. I don't have the original one, but I do have the others in the series, as well as the fortune teller. Everything is still boxed. But yeah, very interesting figure. This came out in 2003. It's a Mezco release. You guys can see down there, Mezco World of Weird. I'll just show you guys a spin in the back. There's actually an original retail sticker on it too. When it first came out, it was $17.99. So it's pretty crazy. I talk with my friends all the time about, you know, some of them have bought stuff when it was retail when it first came out. They paid ridiculous amounts of money as far as a low cost for it, maybe like $20, $30 for something, and the value today is kind of crazy. So this figure, I would say, is on the value scheme of between $150 and $220. So nice, we'll move on. Up next, this is not boxed, but I will show it to you. I think it's the next one up in the scale of value. But in 1992, when the movie Bram Stoker's Dracula came out, they did an exclusive figure release with 4 characters. They were sold exclusively at Suncoast Video, and they were kind of in a... I've never actually seen the original boxes. I think they came in bags. But I've never seen like bagged examples of them. But what we have here is 4 characters that were from that film. So up first we have the Victorian Dracula. I know I've shown this to you guys before in videos. They're kind of like PVC kind of figures. Sorry, my dog's barking in the background, but this is the Victorian Dracula, so Gary Oldman. They're nice size too. They're about 8-inch figures. So we had that one. We also have the armored Dracula that you'll see in the beginning of the film. This is probably my favorite one. But individually, these figures go from about like $30 to $50, $60, somewhere in that range. But what makes them cool is having the entire set dramatically brings up the value of them as a lot together. Then we have, what is it, Nina? I think it's Nina or Mina or something like that, Winona Ryder's character. This is her Victorian dress that you would see her and him out in the town when they first lock eyes. So very, very cool to have this one as well. And then the final character in the series was the Wolf Dracula. He's actually the only one that I have the original tag for, and then I'll show you guys here. It was done by In Character. That'll show up for you guys. It says Suncoast Motion Picture Company, Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992, Columbia Pictures. This was originally sold for $13. So very cool. The 4 figures together, I would give a value of between $200 and $300. If you were to buy them individually, that's what you would pay for. I'm going to be kind of conservative and say I would say closer to the $200 mark than the $300 mark. But as a group together, it should be no problem being able to give it that sort of value. So cool. So we'll set that down. Up next is a really cool piece. I have only seen, maybe seen it once or twice before online. It was something that I got from a friend of mine. But this piece is an Army of Darkness Palisades minifigure. This was sold exclusively at Spencer's, and I believe it was, I don't know if it was around the time of the Army of Darkness movie in the early 90s. It might have been like 96, a couple years later, something like that. But they had these really cool minifigs, and they came in these little boxes. I have 1 or 2 of the boxes here somewhere. I just couldn't find it for today. But this is the rarest one, I would say, in the series, besides Christmas exclusive that was only sold to department stores that were carrying the figures. It was a variant of Ash, and it was kind of a mail order one. But this is the other valuable one in the series, and what we have is the winged Deadite. The value of these figures, these little mini Palisades that come with little bases, are pretty crazy. Pretty much anyone in series is going to be over $100 figure. This one is teetering around $250 to $350 if you can find it. It's the only version of the Winged Demon character from Army of Darkness that I think has ever been produced for the mass market. But it's really, really nice for how small these are. The detail is amazing on them. I do have the Deadite Captain as well that was played by Bill Moseley. They're the only 2 that I have because they are so expensive. So nice. That was number 3 on the list. Just set him down. Okay, up next, we're going to start to get into some of my favorite figures, as well as some of the most valuable ones that I have. Up next, I will show you guys, let's see here. I'll show you guys the Soda Toys one. Again, this is one you've seen, I'd say, within the last 6 months. But what we have here is the Tower Records exclusive clown figure, the blue variant. I also have the red variant, the normal version, but this is the one that everyone wants. The rarest, the hardest to find. You don't see them very often. I've seen this figure go, or asking anywhere between, I don't know, like $180 all the way up to over $500. But they pretty much teeter right on the range of about $300 if you can find it. Again, it's one of those ones that doesn't really show up very often. This one for me, I'm trying to think of what I actually paid for it. I think it was around $180. And at the time, I thought that was a really good price because when I was seeing these, they were always like $500. Like there was nothing short of that. I think the cheapest one I saw around that time was like $375. So when I saw this come up, I had to get it. It was a little bit more than I ever wanted to spend, but I had to have it for the collection. So really cool. Just show you the back. And this is a really good example of one. There's nothing really wrong with this. I was happy when I found it. So nice. That was number 4. Okay. I'm trying to look at what I've got here and kind of see value. Alright, so the next one is one of my favorites. One of my favorite movies of all time. As you guys know, Labyrinth. This is another one I think you've seen within the last 8 months or so. But this is the NECA Cult Classic Labyrinth, Jareth the Goblin King and Hoggle 2-pack figure. Very, very hard to find. You can find these pretty, I wouldn't say pretty regularly, but at least 1 or 2 listings where they're loose. Probably don't have all the accessories, but you can find the Hoggle and the Jareth together. They teeter around $150, sometimes a little more loose. So I would say in today's market, in a nice condition pack like this, nice and clear, no crushing of the blister or anything like that, I would value this figure between $250 and $300. But love this. One of my pride and joys in my cult classic collection. And Labyrinth stuff. So very cool. That was, what, number 5? The next one is something that was released recently. It wasn't released to the public. It was something that you had to buy in a subscription box. It was a little box of horrors. They had worked with distinctive dummies. It's hard to tell the actual value of this one, and the reason I wanted to add it to this video is because it was very limited. There was only 20 made. It even came with a certificate of authenticity that Martin, the owner of DD, had signed. And it's going to be one of these figures that you might not see them available now, but as far as a value compared to other distinctive dummies in this kind of range, I would say this value is probably going to be around $300, if not more. It's super rare. Again, it was only out of 20. Most of his runs are between 60 and 70 pieces. So based on the rarity of this one, the fact that it is another release for the They Live that won't be released for the general public is pretty incredible. It even has the little box of horrors logo down at the bottom. I don't know which one mine was. It's not written on the back like the other ones usually are. I have my, it's written on the, what's it called? Certificate of authenticity, but that's down in my safe. I think mine was number 14 out of 20. But really, really cool piece. Love this a lot. The cop and They Live. So very, very cool. Show you guys the back. And again, based on the rarity of this and how many were produced, that's why I'm giving this a high value. I actually think it could go more than $300 to the right person. So we'll set that down. Let me think here of as far as value. Okay, so the next one, this would be number 7, is going to be another distinctive dummy. I have 3 more. They're actually from Distinctive Dummies and one from another company. But this next one is extremely, extremely rare. I would say it's probably the most popular. I would say the top 3 most popular Distinctive Dummies releases that were ever done. And I would say probably the most valuable. You don't see these for sale, and when you do, they are a lot of money because people just really don't want to get rid of them, I think. But what we have here is the 2-pack Michael Myers and Dr. Loomis, Halloween Night He Came Home. One of my favorite pieces in my Distinctive Dummy collection. Again, it's just, they're super hard to find. When you see them, you're going to pay over $300 for it, guaranteed. I've seen them higher than that, way higher than that. I bought mine at Monster Mania 2 years ago, I believe it was. I can't remember exactly what I paid, but I know I paid less than $200. It's kind of one of my rules. I try not to spend more than that on an individual set or single figure. But it is so good. I mean, it really looks like Dr. Loomis there. Really, really good. One of the most sought after DD 2-packs. I'll show you guys the back. Mine is number 72 out of 75. You guys can see there. So very cool. Really happy to have this one that I'll never get rid of. I've had people ask me. I just won't get rid of that one. So up next, it's hard to determine the higher value of the next 3 pieces. So I'm just going to do it what I like best. So what we have here next is, it's kind of crazy the value of figures sometimes, especially smaller figures. And based on the popularity of the artist that does this figure or did this figure and his company, I mean, it's really blowing up. He makes really, really good work. This is going to be a retro band figure, and what we have here is the Salem's Lot Dead Barlow variant. I also have the regular Barlow variant, but this one is particularly rare. Only 10 of these were produced. So I'll show it to you here. I have it in like a hard case to keep it mint. But you can see it's almost like a skull face. It almost resembles the Halloween 3 figures that he did, which are also super rare. But the fact that it's the Dead variant makes this extremely expensive. And Retroband, as many of you guys know, are just insane. The values are insane. You know, it's not uncommon to spend more than $300 on a single figure like this. I would say the regular Barlow would be valued between somewhere like $250 and $350. I'm gonna say today I would value this, I would say comfortably at $350. I think it could go for more. I think this could go upwards of $500. But it's always hard to tell. It's really about the demand for this, and again, how many are available. There's only 10. I've never seen another one for sale because they are that rare. I'll show you guys the back. You can see the picture of the regular one and the dead Barlow. But to me, if I were to ever sell these, which I doubt I will, I would sell them as a pair and try to get some good value out of it. But I do love this. It stays inside my glass display shelf with a lot of my rare stuff. But yeah, I love this a lot. Something you rarely see. So I'll set that down. Up next, these are distinctive dummy releases for the last two. These are extremely rare. These you never see, especially the one. I've never really seen it for sale, and I was lucky enough to get it from the man himself, from DD. So I'll show you the first one. The first one is the 1/6 scale Pennywise, mint in the box. This is highly, highly sought after for distinctive dummy collectors. You do see them come up from time to time. A lot of times the cellophane on the front is cracked, or the box is all tattered up. It's hard to find a really good example of it when you do find them. So this one is limited to, I don't know if it actually says on the box. This is one of the early pieces that he did. I don't think he was actually numbering them at the time. I know it's super limited. It's less than 60. But as you can see, it's really good. I love it. Love, love, love this. I would say if I were to list this today, I would want, I know it's a little aggressive, but I would ask $450 for this. And I think I could get it. I really do. So the Pennywise, the original 1/6 scale Pennywise. Love, love, love this. So I'll set that down. The last piece is also a 1/6 scale distinctive dummy. This one I've never seen for sale other than the one I got. The box isn't the greatest. It's okay. There's definitely some issues with it. You can see there. So not the greatest, but what we have here is the Salem's Lot Barlow 12-inch. What makes this special to me, and probably one of the most valuable as far as the 12-inch figures I have in my collection, is that I bought it directly from Martin, and he did inscribe it for me on the side, which I love. That little touch to me just makes this, you know, there's no value I can put on this. It's something I will have forever, and I love it. Really, really good though. If you guys can see, it's hard to get them. They're so big, like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's really, really well done. If you guys know distinctive dummies, you know the kind of quality that you can expect. But this to me, I would say, is one of the rarest, one of the most expensive that I have. So I definitely want to show it to you guys and include it in this video. So yeah, show you a spin. Very, very cool. So yeah, so I want to say thanks guys for tuning into this video today. It's been fun just getting back at it and doing these types of things. Again, I will start toy hunting again more. I plan on going out this weekend to do that. So expect a video of me toy hunting this weekend. And some other cool stuff. I've been getting into fish keeping with aquariums and stuff like that too. So you guys are going to start seeing some different things and stuff around the house that you may have not seen in the past. So I want to say thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Leave this video a like and a comment. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the things I showed today. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you guys enjoyed this content and would like to see future episodes of Horror in Me, please subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to keep in contact with me to see more of my content, you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search Horror in Me. See you guys next time.